Hello, welcome back to Island Gear Review. This is Sal. Today's video is going to be on backpack shelters. Right here I have the Kifaru Sawtooth with an 18-inch cylinder stove. And over to your right is the kuiu Storm Star 2-person tent. And to your left is the big Agnes 3 Wire Bivy. Alright, so when it comes down to setting up this shelter, you want to make sure you're on level ground. It takes a very big footprint. It's 13'9" by 8'6". As you see here, it comes with 22 pegs and guide out lines, and gives you good headspace inside the tent. I'm just under 6 feet. I can walk in, no problem. And you come over here, come around back. Also has a secondary optional pole you can set up in the back here. Gives you about 2 foot of headspace inside the tent when it's set up. I suggest watching a video on how to set this tarp up for the first time. It does take a little while, and make sure you face it into the wind coming this way and level ground. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the inside of this tent. As you see here, it does come with a clothesline, so you hang up your wet clothes, dry them out overnight. And if you do live in an area with a lot of humidity, I will suggest you getting the liner. It's a separate accessory to the tarp. Definitely helps with condensation. And I've taken this out on a few different hunts, and it does get warm in here. It gets like 30 degrees plus. With the stove is excellent. It's lightweight. Only issue I have with the stove is it's a kind of a pain to set up, and it doesn't burn very long, so it'll burn out fast. But I had no issues with smoke escaping from the chimney or coming inside the tent. I have even slept with the cover off and flames coming out, and still had no issue with smoke inside. So this is just a visual. This gives you a lot of leg space. This is a long kuiu 15-degree bag. So very good for 2 people plus gear. 1 person would be amazing, and this will be ideal for fly-in hunts or as a base camp if you have enough timber to keep your fire going. So it's an excellent piece of gear. If I had to take one tent for the rest of my life, I'd definitely pick the Sawtooth. It's very excellent, and the customer service is amazing. I had an issue with the stove when it came to me, and I talked to the CEO of the company on social media, and he got back to me right away, and he was going to replace it for free, and we ended up getting it working without it. But very good customer service. And later tonight I'm going to have night footage of the stove, and just to show you how it is when it's burning. Alright, moving on to the big Agnes 3 Wire Bivy sack. This is a 4-season ultra lightweight bivy sack. It's just under 2 pounds in weight. It comes with these 3-wire truss system here. Has a little bill over here so you can keep the zipper open and have ventilation. It has a 3/4 zip design. Comes with a built-in no-see-on mesh for bugs. Another thing I should mention is these loops. You can actually use almost anything you want as tent pegs. Skis, pegs, branches, or whatever. They're big enough for anything you can fit in there. I'll just get in here and show you the size. It's very easy to get in and out of. So I'm 5'11", and my feet are touching the bottom. Zip this up. As you see here, I can put my arms above my head. You see that? So there's a lot of extra space in here. And when you zip this up, you keep it open a little bit and it'll aid in condensation. There's very minimal condensation in this when you sleep in it. As you see here, you're out of the wind and rain. Definitely a good option when you're looking for lightweight shelter or an emergency secondary shelter in a camp setup. So I have spent a couple nights in this. It's very comfortable, roomy, enough for a sleeping pad, sleeping bag, and very good lightweight piece. Moving on to the kuiu Storm Star 2-person tent. This tent is a 4-season tent, dual wall suspended from the frame, from the poles. Weighs in at 5.5 pounds. They use 30D fabric on the fly, and it's reinforced with X-Pack material on the seams that support the strike for the heavy winds. They use 40D fabric on the tub of the tent. Out of all these tents, I spent most of the time in this one. This was the first one I bought. Used it last season in the mountains for 8 days, where it rained on us every night. I had a few condensation issues the first night, but I didn't have the vents open or the inner wall, the door unzipped. So it did build up some condensation for sure. This is a very excellent backpack tent for 4 seasons. They're all going to be around this weight, basically. Another good design feature is you can see this from a far ways away when you're going back to camp. You have no issues finding where your tent's set up. It uses dual vestibules, so each person has a door, so you don't have to climb over somebody or gear to get inside out. And we're going to go in and show you the inside right now. So, good feature is it has a double door, so each person gets a door. And you see here there's 2 layers to the door. If it's early season or if you're having condensation issues, unzip this material and just leave this one, and that'll help reduce the condensation in there. And the vestibule is minimum space for a bag and your boots. Size wise, you can definitely fit 2 guys. Be a little bit tight. For one person and a backpack and a rifle, it'd be perfect. Be like a palace in there. I'll get in and show you for size. Lay down, my feet are touch the wall. I have enough space above my head. For size wise, shoulder to shoulder, you definitely have enough space for 2 guys. A good feature about this is the roof vent. You open this up, you can unzip the outside, and they have a little kickstand. You can open that up to reduce condensation. One tip is when you set this tent up, you want this side, I'm pointing this side, facing the wind. So when you open the door, the wind's not coming inside the vestibule and inside the tent. Same with the vents. You can get wind or snow in there. As for accessory for this tent, they have this mesh piece that's good for putting your inReach or headlamp or cell phone in there. Neat little feature. Their logo here does glow in the dark. And for any interior pockets, you have these mesh pockets on the outside. Be careful what you put in there, because when you build up condensation, it can get wet. Had no issues with leaks from the tub of the tent. You see here, this is all seam taped, and I do have their floor mat underneath this, so you can buy it. And when you sit up, my head almost touches. It's very comfortable. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions.
I got a question.
What?
Does it protect you from bears?
Nothing protects you from bears. I think a loaded rifle and yeah, just keep your food in the tree away from your tent. and camp it away from trails will help you with bears. If you have any questions, comments, please give me a shout. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
As you can see, he is taking it down right now. How long did this take you to set up?
This one here?
Yeah.
This is the fastest one. It'll probably take a couple minutes. This, with a tarp, would be an excellent option for a lightweight sleep system if you're worried about weight. I bring it along in some cases for a secondary shelter.
How long did this one take you?
That one's the worst one for a setup. It takes, once you get down to it, it takes probably about 10 minutes for the stove and 10 minutes for the tent. But the key is placement. You want almost level surface and away from trees and deadfall. It's a big footprint you need to set up, so just be aware of that when you're setting it up. Practice at home before you take it out. It's definitely not the easiest one to set up, but once it is, it's pretty cool.
And the last one?
The last one, it takes 5 minutes. When you take over the mountains, make sure you level out your area, because we had to dig out every area that we could sleep in. Yeah, it's actually it's shaped like a star, so it's a big footprint area, kind of awkward. So when you dig out a spot, make it bigger than you think it is. Because we always had to re-dig it out.